Anyways, in Tekken, there are 3 types of throws. Well, actually, technically only 2. There's command throws and generic throws. Every character has a generic throw. And you already know this, every generic throw that every character has is either 2 and 3, or 1 and 3, and 2 and 4. Those are the 2 generic throws that every character has. So, generic throws in this game, or at least in the old games, used to be broken in a specific way. The way that you would know how to break it is depending on what arm you see actually comes out and grabs you. So if I do a 1 and 3 throw, you can, goddamn you can see that King is going with his lead arm to try to grab Dragunov. See how he's doing that with his lead arm? Back in the day, that used to have to be broke with a specific button, which in this case would have been 1x squared, depending on whatever system you're on. 2 throws, or we're actually getting ahead of ourselves. The other one, you see how he's grabbing with his back arm instead of his lead arm? That would be broken with the 2 button. So triangle, Y, again, whatever system you're on, we're going to go with generic numbers. So, in Tekken, in Tekken 7, generic throws are broken with either 1 or 2. There are 3 ways to break throws in this game. 1, 2, and 1 plus 2. Now, how do you know exactly which one they're going to break? Like I said earlier, it depends mostly on what arm that they're reaching you with. Most 1 throws in this game that are broken with 1, they're going to reach with their lead arm. Most two throws are going to be broken with 2. So if I do something like a tombstone, for instance, which is down, whatever, quarter circle back, forward, 2. You motherfucker. You see how he's reaching with his back arm and that? That means that it's a 2 throw. Most people can break this shit on reaction, right? So if I was to do something like King's quarter circle 1, you can see really quickly that he's grabbing with his lead arm. That's what he's leading off with. See that? That right there is an indicator that it's a 1 throw. It's very tricky to see that, but some people are able to break throws on reaction depending on what arm reaches for them. Now, the other way to break throws is 1 plus 2. This is for 1 plus 2 grabs. For King, for instance, his muscle buster. Oh, you motherfucker. It's quarter circle back, 1 plus 2. You see that? You see how he reached with both arms. When you see someone do this with both arms, how he's reaching forward with both arms to try to grab you, if you see that, 9 times out of 10, it's a 1 plus 2 throw. That can only be broken with 1 plus 2. The easiest way to remember it, if you break it with a 1, 2, or 1 plus 2, is the punches used in the throw. For instance, quarter circle forward, 1, has only punch in it. Or the 1 punch. So it's broken with a 1, or with a 1 jab. Tombstone, which is quarter circle back, forward, 2 plus 4, has a 2 in it. And therefore, it's broken with the 2 punch. Oh my god, why can I never do this when I need it to? That right there is broken with a 2. Because you see how on the button notation, there is the 2 plus 4? That's how you know, just by looking at it from the move list. Breaking on reaction is very difficult. So, the main thing you gotta do is understand the throws that the character is going for. Now, usually with most characters, they're gonna have generic throws and then one or 2 command throws, right? So, someone like Jin is gonna have, basically like the one you have to worry about the most. I think they're both 1 plus 2 throws. The part where you have to really worry about properly throw teching is against King. King is one of the hardest people to try to tech throws. Not just because he has chain throws, but here's the fucking trickiest one. Giant Swing. Giant Swing actually breaks the rules that I just told you. Like how I said, if you're going to grab with a 1 throw, the lead arm's going to grab, right? That being the 1 throw. This Giant Swing is a fucking bastard of a move. Giant Swing has a tricky animation. It looks like he's grabbing with both arms when he does it. You see that? That looks the same, almost the same as Muscle Buster. This right here looks almost the same as this. It's fucking deceptive. And it's like that on purpose because it's supposed to be hard to break. Giant Swing, though, is broken with just one. Even though it looks like he's grabbing with two, it's just broken with one. And on top of that, Giant Swing can actually be teched on him. So if you actually do get hit with Giant Swing, fear not, because you can actually make the damage not as much by teching out of it. So if I just have them set to, or tech rolling, if I have them set to tech roll from Giant Swing, you'll actually take less damage. So if we have him toss Dragunov, you can see that that did only 45 damage, right? Now if I take it off, or if I take tech throw off, oh dude, King's so much fun. He's one of my favorite characters in this game. So we take off the tech roll, boom, that now is 65 damage. Giant Swing is one of the biggest throws that King players are going to go for. So if you see King run up to you, break with a 1. Don't think about it, just break with a 1. Because Giant Swing in the neutral is going to throw you towards a wall. Or if King's back is against a wall, assume that it's going to be a Giant Swing. Because if Giant Swing hits you against a wall, if you get thrown up against a wall, there is no way to tech it. You take all 65 damage. There are also some instances where throws aren't techable, but we're not going to get into that because it's very hyper-specific things like Shining Torpedo. Or, for instance, Air Instant Shining Wizard. Shining Wizard is also another throw that you need to worry about. Shining Wizard is broken with 2, I think? Yeah, it's 2. So, you see a King running up to you, and it looks like he's grabbing with with both his hands. Right? If I do that again, you look, it kind of looks like he's grabbing with both. With both. Actually, I think Giant Swing's broken with 1+2. Hold up. We might have to go check this. Either way, Giant Swing is another very deceptive thing. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, you'll be able to know how to break the throw. But that 1 out of 10 times, you gotta be a little concerned. Giant Swing being one of the biggest examples of this move is not necessarily broken the way it looks like. But, like I said, there are certain situations where you can make an educated guess that this move, indeed, is going to be Giant Swing. Like if you're in the neutral with King. Alright? If you're in the neutral with King, he's probably going to go with Giant Swing. Shining Wizard's also my favorite fucking special move. You know what? Like, that's brownie points with me. Let's get that out of the way right now. That's awesome. Alright, so we're going to set CPU to repeat my action, and he's just going to do, what's it called? Shining Wizard. So. Okay, I was right. I just wanted to make sure before I give you false information. Shining Wizard breaks my rule that I've told you. Alright, you know how I said if they're doing it with a 1 punch, it's probably just a 1 break or something like that. You know how I told you that? Shining Wizard is the exception to that rule. If you see a King player run up to you and go for a grab, mash out 1+2 as hard as you can. Alright? Mash that shit like your life depends on it. Because it does. Shining Wizard, especially with King, leads to ridiculous Oki situations. For instance, look how close I land next to you. That is a shitty position to be in. Alright? From here, King can do forward 3 into DDT. He can do Brain Chop, and that'll catch both your wake-up kicks, alright? If he thinks that you're not going to do that, down 3 will catch most your tech rolls away and towards. You're fucked. It's a bad situation. So if you see King run up to you and look like he's going to grab you with 2 punches, or with both his arms, mash the shit out of 1+2. Now, like I said, these are in hyper-specific situations where you need to worry about this. So if you see a King player running up to you, it's probably going to be a Shining Wizard. If it's a Giant Swing, tech it. Alright? Chain throws, however, in this game are broken very weirdly. So, if we look at King's chain throws. Level. Actually, you know what? We'll look at Armor King's chain throws just so we can show you some shit. We'll look at Armor King's chain throws real quick. If we do Cobra Clutch, for instance, Cobra Clutch is done out of, what is it, Wave Dash? And it can be either done with 1 and 4 or 2 and 3, which is a mix-up. You will not be able to notice this. This is seriously just a guess situation. Alright? That right there is a guess. So hopefully you guess right. You're probably not going to, but still try anyways. See, I fucked up. I was mashing out 2, wasn't that. But if you look, it's very, very similar. The animations are very close to each other. I think if I just have him record real quick. Hold up. Stop it. Damn it. Let me, like, try to whiff this so that way you can see it. So you see how he's grabbing with both arms? It's the same animation. So you really just have to guess. Now, if he goes into his shit like this, you have a very small window to break these throws. Very small. And it's really, realistically, you have to essentially guess just by knowledge of how the character works. You have to guess that when they start their chain throws, you are either going to get a 1, a 2, or a 1+2 break. It's a rock, paper, scissors scenario, and it's stacked up against you. If you fuck up and you guess wrong and press a button that wasn't right, like for instance, let's say it's a 1 break on the chain throw and you're mashing out 2. The moment the game opens up the window to realize that you fucked up and you pressed 2 instead of 1, you're done. You can no longer have a chance to break that throw specifically. You're going to have to try to break it later down there. Or later down the chain. Which is bad, because a lot of stuff that chain throws get will eventually lead into, like, really good Oki situations, and they'll just stop. Like, for instance, King's, I don't know this one, but you can just mash it out. Like, right here. Right here, if you stop, this is a great Oki situation for King. A lot of people stop right there. I do it all the time. So, you need to be worried about trying to break the throw properly when they do chain throws. So, how do you know if you're going to break the throw properly? You don't. You actually don't. It's seriously just guess. 9 times out of 10, though, you want to guess the more higher damage opportunity. Because if we look at Armor King's chain throws, just Armor King. Cobra Clutch is the first one that he can do. Alright? And he has 3 options from Cobra Clutch. He can do Flinging Half Nelson, Sleeper, and Neck Drop. Those are just the start of his chain throws. All these are broken differently. I believe this is a 2 throw. This is a 1+2 probably. And then this might just be a 2. Actually, we'll just figure it out for you right now. So, he's going to be doing, what is it? Flinging Half Nelson. We're going to look at how to break, or this move. This is actually the best thing you can do to actually try to break throws. Alright, I'm mashing 2. That didn't work. So now we got to look at it from another way. It's a 1 break. So, if we get here and we fuck up, and we don't want to get Flinging Half Nelson, we got to mash out 1. He has another one, which is Sleeper. Come at me, bro. Alright, it's not a 1+2 break. Oh shit, what? Okay, so Sleeper is a 1+2, or just a 2, and then I believe Neck Drop is the 1+2 throw. Okay, so you have my problem with pressing 1+2. So I played a lot of Street Fighter 4, right? I'm used to doing what is known as plinking. And if you don't know what plinking is, it's when you try to trick the game and taking advantage of the way that the game registers inputs. And you hit buttons like... You basically hit buttons sloppy. So if I were to show you this, you see how it's 1 plus 2 plus 2, and it's 1 plus 2, and then a 2 input on the end, or tacked on in the end. The way that Street Fighter 4 would have registered this is just as the 2, or whatever. But that's a totally different thing. That's a bad habit I have, and I drop a lot of 1 plus 2 breaks because of that. Because the game will see that 2, and if it sees that 2 break, the moment that window comes, it'll consider that a bad input or the wrong input, and you're done. You won't be able to break the chain. Now, what did I mean by trying to break at the like the highest damage combo route? Let's say we have something like King's Roll real hard. But anyways, so if we get something like King's Rolling Death Cradle, if I can. Look how much damage this throw does, right? And you only get 2 opportunities to break this. The only other option you get, or that's one of King's like highest damaging throws. Everybody loves Rolling Death Cradle, right? Everyone loves this move. Everybody loves it. That thing, if you don't go to try to break that, you're fucked. Let me tell you. You're absolutely just gonna get dicked on. Oh, fuck. I messed it up. This throw right here is really only gonna catch noobs, because anytime you're at, like, the only time you're gonna catch this throw is if you catch the opponent sleeping. It's very hard to set up for a chain throw like this, because the more you do chains, or the longer a chain throw goes on, the more opportunity your opponent has to break. So, like I said earlier, a lot of people drop them at key points. Like, for instance, that's not terrible. But always try to go for the most damaging break, or try to break the most damaging throw chain. You want to do that because that shit will end up fucking your day up. If you don't know how to break chain throws, and your opponent figures that out, they're going to mash out, well, not mash it out, they're going to do it to you every single goddamn time. And they're going to make sure that they go for the most damaging chain route they can possibly get. You don't want to get caught with that. So, I think breaking Rolling Death Cradle, you mash out 1. I could be wrong. The best way to make sure, or to figure out how to break chain throws, is to go into training mode, put the CPU on repeat action, go all the way down to their chain throws, and just start. Every time you get to like right here, have the CPU do it against you 1,000 times till you figure out how to break it. It's either 1, 2, or 1 plus 2, so it's not like it's going to be like something complicated. There will never be a 3 break, never a 4 break, never a 3 plus 4 break, never a 4 button break. You never have to worry about that. And like I said, you can't mash out 4 buttons or just mash out 1 plus 2. You have to break it a specific way. Otherwise, the game would be like, fuck you, eat shit, and you just lose all your health to some absolute bullshit nonsense. So, that's the crash course in throw teching in Tekken.